Okay, now that you have the rim fully wrapped with the tape and you have all the air pressed out of the center of the rim, what you need to do is press your fingers along the sides of the rim. Make sure all the air is pressed out and the tape is up firmly against the wall of the tire. Once you do that, then you put your fingers on the top of the rim, on the bead. Make sure those are, that's all flattened over there also, on both sides. Which I've already done, but anyways. So once you've done that, then what you need to do is find the hole where the valve stem goes through. You take the razor blade, and you want to puncture a hole. What I do is slit left vertically, and then also just the opposite. It makes like a little X. There's your hole for the valve stem. And you take that trimmed out valve stem and you push it through there. You take the ring, you screw that on as tight as you can. It should snug it right down. And now is the time to just make sure that it's nice and clean, pretty much up against the edges of the walls, and nothing's like protruding over towards the outer wall. Once you have that nice and tight, get that duct tape that we were using earlier and cut another strip that would take probably the length of between 2 and 3 nipples on both sides. Again, because what you need to do now is overlap, put a strip of tape over the valve stem to make a good seal, which I already have pre-cut. So about 2.5. And you pretty much do the same thing as far as pressing it against the bottom and then running it over the valve stem. You press the air out of the sides. This one's a lot easier just because you have a little strip now. And then you press these against the walls also. And you just sealed the valve stem. Now you want the air to get in the tire, so you have to slit it once. Just make sure that you try not to cut anything else other than the hole where the valve is coming in. So now I have a hole for the air to get in. And now you have a tubeless tire. So now all you have to do is mount the tire. Just get one side on there first. And then you get the other side on. And what you can do, because you're going to need to add that Stan's tire sealant, what you can do is almost put the bead on the tire all the way, but you want to leave a little opening at the bottom. What you could do is set it on the fork itself, something to hold, so you can have it hold it for you. And just fill the amount of stands it requires for your type of tire. This was a 26 by 2 inch, so I think it takes 2. Oops, we'll get that later. Give them one to grow on. Okay. Now that you have stand stuff in there, continue closing the tire. Do this right on the rim. So. Okay. Okay, now that you have the tire on the tube, the tire on the rim, what I do is try to pull the tire up onto that bead shelf. It makes it a lot easier to air up later. And all this can be done on your fork. Looks easier to spin and rotate. Get the other side. Do the same thing. Okay, and if you think that it's on the bead wall, then you can air up the tire. So I guess we'll find out in a few seconds. Oh yeah, you can do this, you're going to need an air compressor to fill it up to higher pressure. You can use a hand pump, but I don't know if that'll even work. Okay, once you set the tire, it pops the bead onto the bead, fills up with air. Then what you want to do, because it's still going to have a leak, what you need to do is shake it all around to get that tire sealing. And the corners where the tire meet the rim, and also any air leaks from the tape itself. But this might take a couple times to find out whether you have a leak or not. What you can do is just fill up the bathtub to it's just about this height, where you can stick the tube underneath, and just make sure there's no air leaks from the nipples or around the seal. Like right now, you can still see some of the Stan's sealant coming out. Anyways, just keep shaking it, and then just keep filling it, and eventually the leaks will stop, and then you have a tubeless tire.